I already told you, Joe, what it is. Now it's time to tell everyone else what it is. Obviously, as you know, I almost missed my own episode over New Year's. So I didn't want to make this first punishment too bad. So while I was at Disney, I got a little magnet and it says late for everything. And for the next 2 months, that's through March, Joe, you have to put that magnet somewhere in your video to remind everyone that you are late to everything. Or to at least one episode. Another thing, as you probably noticed, I'm trying a new setup. I'm sitting for the first time in a while, which is amazing. The only negative thing is I don't really have too much of way to check quality control from where the camera is set up right now, so if this setup is bad, you'll know at the same time I know it when you review the footage. So, the Baseball Hall of Fame. 4 people got in. A few people that some thought would get close didn't get as close as people wanted to. And we had the first ever unanimous selection to Major League Baseball's Hall of Fame, Mariano Rivera. Now, this begs the question, why Mariano Rivera? He's a closer, after all. He didn't hit 500, 600 home runs. He didn't win a batting title. He didn't win 300 games or strike out 4,000 people. That's not the point of a unanimous selection. A unanimous selection should be reserved to someone who is head above shoulders the best at their position. And for the longest time, we never really had anyone who... Babe Ruth didn't get a unanimous pick. Tom Seaver, regarded as one of the best pitchers of all time, didn't get a unanimous pick. Nolan Ryan, who was considered even better than Tom Seaver, didn't get a unanimous pick. Jackie Robinson broke the color barrier. Didn't break the streak of no unanimous selections. Ken Griffey Jr., one of the most beloved baseball players of all times, no unanimous selection, fell a few short. Now, some of it was because some writers did not like how that player kept beating their home team, so they didn't want to give him the vote. And others, you can make the case they didn't win enough, like Ken Griffey Jr. never once saw the World Series. However, if you go by the mantra of who is the best player at their position, there is no doubt Mariano Rivera is the best player at the closing position. A relatively new position, but a position nevertheless. It's so much that even some Boston writers said, this guy's clearly the best, I can't vote for him, but I don't want to take away what this moment might be, so I'm abstaining my votes. That's how respected this guy is, was, and will be. Now, does this pave the way for more players to get unanimous selections? Most notably, Derek Jeter next year. Possibly. I mean, it's very hard to argue that Derek Jeter wasn't one of the best at his position. And there are very few people who you can find that hate it. But again, it comes down to who is the best at their position. While Derek Jeter certainly has the Silver Sluggers and the All-Star nods to go around, he does have the notion that a lot of his defensive greatness was because he was in the right positions, that he was never an exceptional glove. He was just a smart glove. Also, never won an MVP. Came close 2 years, but never won an MVP. But this is thinking a little too far into the future, and we'll revisit this next year when we see Derek Jeter's Hall of Fame candidacy and ask the inevitable question of not if he will get in, but by how many votes will he get to unanimous. And the important takeaway from the 2019 Hall of Fame voting is that we will have these conversations in the future for guys like Mike Trout or Bryce Harper or whoever in the future. Because if Rivera couldn't get in on a unanimous ballot, nobody was going to get in on a unanimous ballot ever. But that's my takeaway from the Hall of Fame ballot. It's still the cold of winter. The free agent market on baseball is still frozen, waiting for Bryce Harper and Manny Machado as we await the countdown to spring training in a few weeks. Expect a flurry of action once those two guys get off the board. I'll save all that talk for a possible future episode once they sign. But until next time, see you next time.